may be seated, please. The Honorable Minister of Education, represented by the Director, Federal Scholarship Board, Mrs. Ndajimo Asta, the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports. He's also being represented here today by his Special Advisor on Youth Innovation, Mr. Olufemi Adeabo. Your Excellencies, the EU Heads of Mission, Deputy Executive Secretary Administration, Mr. Chris Mayaki, Erasmus alumni, awardees of the Erasmus Plus Postgraduate Scholarship, gentlemen and ladies of the press, great Nigerian youth, our online guests, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Ugo Sokari George, and I will be anchoring this event this morning. And you're welcome to this pre-departure orientation for the record number of brilliant Nigerian students that have been awarded this postgraduate scholarship that's offered by the European Union through its Erasmus Plus program. This year, we really have a record number. And for the last 6 years, we've been organizing pre-departure orientation for times like this. However, this year is different for two reasons. The first reason being that we are simultaneously also, we have the study in Europe fair also going on downstairs. It's all to show the interest of Europe in Nigeria and the area of education. And we also are celebrating, in no small measure, the number of Nigerian youth that got this award this morning. Some of you already know the number. About 6-7 years ago, that number was a far cry from what we used to think. But now, it's something that is really it's making, the European Union is highly excited about. And the study fair today is being organized by some of the European Union member states. And they are Spain, France, Finland, the Netherlands, Poland, and Finland. At this moment, without much ado, I'd like to call on the EU ambassador, Ambassador Samuela Isopi, for a welcome address. May I also call on all the representatives of the EU mission in Nigeria. If you're here, please, I'd like you to come up. All the ambassadors of the European Union, heads chargés d'affaires, everybody that is representing the European Union embassies, please come forward and support Ambassador Samuela.
Thank you. Dear colleagues, please join me on stage. We know that not all member states are represented today, but since this is a Team Europe effort, I would like all of you to be on stage with me. So, dear guests, representatives of the federal government, dear awardees, dear colleagues, good morning and welcome to the 2022 Erasmus Pre-Departure Orientation event. As Hugo said already, this year we have decided to do it differently because we have something important we want to share and to celebrate with you. This year we have reached the record number of over 200 Erasmus Plus scholarship awardees in Nigeria. Over 100 of them have joined us today and they are in this hall. Others are following online. So let's put our hands together for them. They deserve it. Also because they have been selected through a highly competitive process based on pure merit, conducted worldwide by a consortium of top European universities. As you know, this is a postgraduate, a master degree program that we run for 12 or 24 months. Nigerian awardees will go to 75 different universities in 20 different countries across Europe, including 18 European Union member states. During that period, they will have the opportunity to visit up to 6 countries across Europe. And I would like to take the opportunity to thank all my colleagues, ambassadors, chargés d'affaires, and representatives of the European Union member states and of European countries that are also participating in this program. This year, now, Nigeria is also the second country worldwide with the highest number of awardees, just behind Pakistan. This deserves another round of applause. Thank you. In 3 years, since 2019, Nigeria has been able to quadruple the number of students participating in the program, moving from the 6th to the 2nd position, right behind Pakistan. Another round of applause, please. You know, Nigerian awardees were just 44 in 2019. Very small number, I guess you agree. Then the number increased to 93, I think, in 2020, to 133 last year, to reach the record number of over 200 this year. This makes us very proud, and you have to be very proud. But we know that is not enough, because the potential of Nigeria is really very high. And that's why we want to work together with you and with the federal government for these numbers to keep growing in the next few years. Now, just a few words about the Erasmus program. Erasmus program is the EU flagship program to support education and youth. It is also, as you know, the case of Nigeria clearly shows an example, a very good example of a win-win cooperation. And for Nigeria, I think it shows 3 basic things. First, the high potential, the great potential of the EU-Nigeria people-to-people cooperation. Second, the will of the European Union and its member states to open up, to offer legal migration pathways and opportunities for Nigerians to travel and to study abroad based on merit, on their capacity, and on their abilities. Thirdly, and then I talked to the representative of the Ministry of Youth, it clearly shows our commitment to create concrete opportunities for Nigerian youth. As a former US president used to say, I think it was Franklin Roosevelt, we cannot always build our future for the youth, but we can build the youth, our youth for the future. And of course, education plays a very important role. But education is much more than employability, because education gives the values on the basis of which we actually work and live together. And this is what the Erasmus program is all about. Connecting and uniting people, young people, across Europe and across the globe to build a new generation of world citizens keen to work together for peace, for prosperity, and for the common good. So this year, to celebrate these achievements, but also to further boost our cooperation with Nigeria on education, we have decided to combine the traditional pre-departure orientation event with a Study in Europe fair. And we expect to receive today more than 2,000 visitors. It's just the first time. We organized this fair in a few months. We promise, we commit to make it bigger next year. And I would like to thank all European Union member countries, and in particular those that are participating in this fair, Finland, France, the Netherlands, Poland, and Spain, that will showcase also their own bilateral education program and opportunities for the Nigerian youth. But now let me turn back to you, the awardees. Today is your day. Today is the day to wish you all the greatest success in your studies. You will be the ambassadors of Nigeria across Europe over the next few years. And once you are back, we hope, we expect you to become true ambassadors of Europe in Nigeria. So thank you so much, good luck, and I wish successful deliberations for the day of today. Thank you. Is it okay?
Thank you very much. Ambassador Samuela, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. May I now call on the Director, Federal Scholarship Board, Federal Ministry of Education, who is representing the Minister of Education for a goodwill message at this time. Mrs. Ndajiwo Asta.
Good morning. I want to stand on already established protocol. It's a goodwill message from the Minister, Federal Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, who wished to have been here, but on a very serious national assignment. So here I read the goodwill message of the Honorable Minister. I would like to start by thanking the delegation of the European Union and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, not only for organizing this pre-department departure orientation event, but also for inviting me to present a goodwill message as a guest speaker. Permit me to congratulate the successful awardees and also urge you to be law-abiding, avoid unnecessary distractions while you are in your various institutions so that you can excel. Of course, it should not be taken for granted that such an event will logically give the awardees better understanding of the Erasmus Plus program. Opportunities abound with attending the various European higher education institutions, as well as information on what to expect and what is expected from awardees before arrival on campus. I will therefore want to use this opportunity to commend Mr. Alexander Bogus Gomez, the Charge d'Affaires of the Delegation of the European Union to Nigeria and ECOWAS, for putting this orientation event together, and to also appreciate the delegation for the kind generosity to offer over 200 Nigerian students scholarship to study in various institutions in Europe. As you are all aware, Erasmus program is the EU's program to support education, training, youth and sports in Europe. It provides grants for a range of actions, including the opportunities for students to undertake work placements abroad and for teachers as well as education staff to attend training courses. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am confident that as you interact at this event today, you will come out with useful information to ensure your successful stay in the various higher education institutions of scholarship. Finally, I will want to urge the participants to explore all the opportunities that will enable you succeed in your different careers. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you. Just by way of correction, please, this program here, this event going on here, has elements of the study fair as well. It's at the end of this that the study fair will kick off fully. I understand some of you think you are not part of the pre-departure orientation. There are tips for you to gain from here, for our youths online and here on site, for you to apply for next call for the Erasmus postgraduate scholarship coming up in October. There are a lot of tips for you to get from this meeting. So please relax. This meeting is for every Nigerian youth who wishes to improve himself. Okay? So at this stage, we would like to, just because of that, let you know that we have the awardees, some of the awardees that are here will give us tips and tricks on how to get the scholarship. Okay? At this moment, permit me to call on Chiamaka Akbogu. Chiamaka is one of the current awardees. And Chiamaka, could you tell us where is your first country of mobility?
University of Oldenburg, Germany.
In Germany. Please tell us how. What did you do? What do you think made the selection process choose you?
Okay. So good morning, everyone. My name is Chiamaka Rita Akbogu. I'm a graduate of law from the University of Nigeria and the Nigerian Law School, and I am an awardee of the Erasmus Scholarship. I am going to further my studies in the European Program on Migration and Intercultural Relations. So after graduating from the university and over the last couple of years, I have supported the return and reintegration of migrants from Germany, from Libya, from Italy, and other countries. And from supporting them, I realized the importance of strengthening my capacity to further support them. It led me to conduct internet searches. I tried to find scholarships in my area of interest, which is migration. And in searching, I found out about the Erasmus program. It is a very beautiful program because the program is going to be carried out in different countries that cut across Africa, Asia, and Europe. I liked the idea of going across these countries to understand their migration patterns, their ways of conducting regular migration. And so after conducting the internet search, I went about the application process. I first of all had to fill in my personal details on the portal. We used the e-consult portal. There I also had to talk about my suitability for the award. That basically required stating my work experience in the field of migration. It required me writing my statement of purpose, how I want to shape up the migration pathway and landscape in Nigeria. And after writing and uploading the relevant documents, some months after, I received the nomination. So yeah, that was it.
Tell us what did you write? What do you think, what was the line that you think stood out that would make the consortium of universities choose you?
I think it was my passion. It stood out. I think what these universities and programs look out for is your authenticity and your passion to make a change. Over the years, I have dedicated myself to supporting migrants. It was obvious. I put out my experience. I put out my knowledge from reading, from programs. I also put out my genuine intention to shape up, the migration landscape in Nigeria, to further support migrants and persons of concern. So I think it was the authenticity that made me get selected.
Thank you very much, Chiamaka. Thank you. Beyond the skies, in fact, you do not have any limits. So for those of us that are here who would want to be like Chiamaka next year, she's here. And there are two other scholars that would want to also tell you what they did differently that made them win, made them pass the selection process. Okay, at this stage, may I call on the representative of the Minister of Youth and Sports, Mr. Olufemi Adeabo, for a goodwill message.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'll also stand on existing protocols. This is my goodwill message from the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Mr. Sunday Dare, who can't be here because he's attending the Federal Executive Council meeting, which holds on Wednesdays. So, I will read his remarks. I appreciate the delegation of the European Union to the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Economic Community of West African States for this invitation. I am pleased and greatly honored to be a special guest of honor at this 2022 Erasmus Plus pre-departure orientation event, and also with the privilege to give this goodwill message. I am even more delighted to know that a record number of Nigerian students have been awarded the prestigious Erasmus scholarship to study in various European universities this year. For the uninitiated and for those who may not know, this program provides opportunities for over 4 million participants to study, train, gain experience, and do some volunteering abroad. These scholarships are in the fields of education, training, youth and sports from 2021 to 2027, placing very strong focus on social inclusion, green and digital transitions, and also promoting young people's participation in democratic life. All this form the core of my mandate as the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development in Nigeria. I therefore use this opportunity to wish the Nigerian beneficiaries of these programs the very best of luck, and that they make the most out of the experience. The Nigerian youth is not inferior to anyone, anywhere, and at any time. They have what it takes to compete favorably in the global workspace and leave a lasting positive impact. My appeal to the Nigerian youth is not to just use these opportunities to improve themselves, but to also seek and make impact on our national life by helping to improve the body of knowledge available to your contemporaries through teaching, research, and networking, and also promoting grassroots activities in sports. Always remember that an opportunity well utilized opens up bigger ones. It is like the wise servant that puts his master's talents to good use and makes profit from it. Such a servant will be rewarded. The foolish servant hides his master's talents and ultimately gets punished for it. Let us be like the wise servant. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olufemi. And at this point, please permit me to yield the floor to a friend of the house. He's one that can reschedule whatever prior engagement he has to ensure that he attends events of this nature when the European Union calls. Please permit me to call the Deputy Executive Secretary, Administration, Mr. Chris Mayaki, NUC.
Thank you, Ugo. Thank you. Your Excellency, the Ambassador of the European Union to Nigeria, Ambassador Sumaila Isopi, the Honorable Minister of Education, ably represented here by my sister, the Director of the Federal Scholarship Board, I see the Director of Universities as well, another sister of mine, the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sport, represented by another brother who I have just reunited with after 7 years, Mr. Femi, other heads of missions here present, our proud awardees, good morning. I stand here on behalf of a truly grateful university system to bring to you the warm felicitations of the Executive Secretary, the management and the staff of the National Universities Commission, and by extension, the 219 universities that make up the Nigerian university space today on the occasion of the 2022 Erasmus Plus pre-departure orientation event for Nigerian awardees, and to welcome in a special way the delegation involved with the Study in Europe fair. Indeed, I consider it an immense privilege to address such a distinguished audience, and I thank the European Union and the organizers of this auspicious occasion, no less than my dear sister Ugo, for this great honor. On a special day like this, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we cannot fail to acknowledge and underscore the pivotal role of youth as critical stakeholders in nation building. My brother Femi alluded to this in a very profound way. The youths are the ones who have the creativity, the potentials, and capacities to institute change for themselves, for their communities, for their nations, and the rest of the world. We acknowledge the fact that there are many young and enthusiastic Nigerians who, if given the right ecosystem and orientation, can change the narratives and bequeath long-lasting legacies through sheer hard work and resourcefulness. Today, following a rigorous and competitive application process, almost 200 successful young Nigerians are being awarded the prestigious Erasmus Scholarship. This is a groundbreaking achievement and indeed a proud moment for Nigeria as the second country with the most awardees in a single year. I thought we'll give ourselves a round of applause. In this connection, let me use this medium to commend the managers of the the Erasmus program at all levels, based in Brussels, based in the delegation here, for working tirelessly to harness and produce some of the best, outstanding, and creative Nigerian minds who will soon join others in our continuous quest to build a solid economic foundation for our nation. Your tremendous support, and I'm speaking to the European Union now, and contributions in generating, disseminating, and expanding the frontiers of knowledge to develop Nigerian manpower through this impactful scholarship program cannot be overemphasized. And now, at the National Universities Commission, as a sole regulatory agency of government, with the mandate of ensuring the orderly development of university education in Nigeria, the NUC is relentless in its efforts to reposition the Nigerian university system. But we reckon that we cannot undertake this onerous task alone. Therefore, the Commission, in conjunction with critical stakeholders, recently embarked on some legacy projects. The first of them is one that will interest the visiting European universities. We have just consummated our guidelines, the much awaited guidelines on transnational education. This will allow foreign investors and universities into the Nigerian university space through the establishment of campuses in Nigeria. They can also undertake partnerships with existing universities under 6 competitive models, namely the franchise, the branch campus, the twinning and articulation, and then the distance learning and/or acquisition and merger models. The consummation of these guidelines will open universities to genuine and mutually beneficial collaboration with overseas partners. You well know that one of the major problems with the Nigerian university system is access. So the statistics is on an annual basis, we have about 2 million kids wanting to go to university. The 219 universities put together can accommodate maybe just 500 or 700. And so it is incumbent on us as NUC to open up the space, so that more players can participate. And we want to make this very clear that we're now open as a university system. We have also re-engineered our curriculum. We have come up with guidelines on our internationalization portfolio so that we can, give that Nigerian educational brand the visibility that it deserves. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, we're living in an age of knowledge, an age where education or human capital holds the key to our success and our opportunities. Only education, particularly quality education produced in some of the best academic traditions and good Erasmus universities, can instigate rapid social, economic, scientific, and technological changes needed to guarantee our march to the future with pride and confidence. Education remains our most potent weapon for injecting hope in our youth and in our ability to negotiate a better quality of life for our people. And here I'd like to re-echo the deep sense of gratitude that we continue to feel as a university system to the European Union and the European delegation to Nigeria. To our Erasmus scholars, as you make your way out of this country, please be reminded of the nation's current challenges and the compelling desire to engage in the youth in various and innovative ways where you can harness your skills in such a way that you can plow back your knowledge towards national development. Similarly, the European Union, the nation, and your parents, who by implication have in one way or the other invested in your education, look forward to your being useful in the foreseeable future to your fatherland. We are confident that at the end of your much awaited training and quality graduate studies, you would have been well equipped to proffer solutions to some of the cross-cutting issues and challenges confronting mankind and those which are unique to Nigeria as a nation. And this is where I look forward to, to seeing your ingenuity at work. Once again, on behalf of the Nigerian university system, we like to most heartily congratulate our 200 awardees. This, what I call this unstoppable generation, to go out there and make Nigeria proud. I also encourage the visiting European universities to explore and familiarize themselves with the structure, with the potentials, and the promising opportunities to be found in what could easily be the largest and fastest higher education system in sub-Saharan Africa. I'd like to use this opportunity to say thank you maybe in 5 European languages. And I say molto grazie, ambassadore, merci infiniment, muito obrigado, dankjewel, dankeschön, kithos, tak, and thank you so very much. Thank you for this opportunity and for your kind attention. Long live the European Union. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria and our dear Erasmus scholars, who I dare say are the pride of the nation. Thank you. Good morning. Bonne journée. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayaki. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayaki. That was phenomenal, as phenomenal as he is. Now, today marks the start of a new journey for our awardees to becoming global individuals. Yeah, and that is the reason the Erasmus Plus program is set up for the likes of you. So by this time next year and in 2 years, I'm sure we wouldn't recognize who you are anymore. That's our prayer. Okay? And at this point, I'd like to call on another current awardee who would give us another tip and tricks on how to get the scholarship. May I call on Uziro Abubakar?
Hello, everyone. My name is Uzairu Abubakar, and I am from Sokoto State of Nigeria, and I am the 2022 Erasmus Plus awardee. I studied Bachelor's of Science in Electrical and Electronics Engineering at the University of Debrecen in Hungary through the Hungarian government scholarship. And I've been awarded the Erasmus Mundus Masters of Science in Imaging and Light in Extended Reality. My countries of mobility would be Finland the first semester, second semester would be in France, and the third semester would be in Japan. I applied for the Erasmus Mundus Master's degree because it's one of the most prestigious scholarships I know that covers virtually every aspect of our expenses and allow us to study in different highly reputable universities and eventually graduate with 3 different master's degrees, especially for me. Secondly, I applied for the IMLEX program specifically because it will give me the opportunity to be in Japan as one of the countries of mobility. This is the first time I have applied for the Erasmus, this is the first time I have applied and won the Erasmus Mundus Masters program. At first, I was a little bit scared because of the level of competition of the program, but I was able to gather enough courage and motivation to apply for it and win the Erasmus Mundus eventually. Finally, I am hoping to come back to Nigeria and be able to implement the lessons, experience, and skills I have learned through the Erasmus program to improve the technological sector here in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Uzairu. You see, the Erasmus program, it's not just for European universities. Uzairu, after his first country of mobility, would go to Japan. So it can take you as far as you want to go. I might as well at the same time call on Uzamaka Asiebu, who is one of the current awardees, to tell us her part of the story.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Uzamaka Asiebu. I'm one of the awardees. And one thing I have to say, which I tell people when they ask me about the Erasmus, is that it's not just for science students alone. Because a lot of people actually feel that it's for science students. I studied English language and literature, and then my master's is going to be in women's and gender studies. Thank you. Then I think another thing to look out for in applying for what actually helps me, because I know you'll be wondering the connection between English language and women's and gender studies. I've actually had a background in women empowerment, especially the empowerment of women and girls with disabilities. And I currently work with UN Women, where I'm the program and inclusion analyst. And my work basically includes ensuring that the work that UN Women is doing in Nigeria is inclusive for women and girls with disabilities. So basically when you're applying, one thing you have to look out for, apart from your studies, your background in your bachelor's degree, also look out for your experience. How will your experience enrich your essay when you're applying? It was actually what helps me. How I've been able to, all through my work and my volunteering and everything, how am I able to connect them to the current scholarship that I'm applying for. And this is actually the first time I applied for the Erasmus and I got it. Thank you. Yes. Then when I applied, it took about 3 months before I actually had to even send them an email asking, oh, what's the hold up? Why haven't you gotten back to me? And they responded that they will get back to me when they're ready. They eventually got back to me and told me I've been selected for the interview. And then that's another stage of, first you have to prove yourself through your essays, then you go ahead and if you're selected for interview, you start proving yourself through your interviews. My interview was more of an interaction because it was basically on what I've been doing, how can I convince my interviewer that, oh, I've been able, this thing I said in my essay, I've been doing it in my work. I have the actual experience, and actually, I actually need this master's to be able to replicate it when I graduate. So it was really an interesting conversation I had with my interviewer, and then around May, I was told I was selected for it. Yes. So one thing I have to say for potential people that are interested in this scholarship, first of all, you have to go through the Erasmus Plus catalog. There's a catalog for it. You go through it, check on all, there are so many courses there, available courses that you can check. You check on all these courses, which one fits what you're doing, which one fits your background and your experience, and you start applying for it. Also ensure that all your documents are in place, because when you apply, you have to submit all these documents. Ensure that they are in place. Then when you get it, the whole, like the process is kind of crazy after you get it because you have just a few months to prepare. So that's my story. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Uzamaka. All right. Maybe it's worth noting that there's no exam for you to be that qualifies you in the process of selection. All you need to do, like you have heard, is to prove yourself on paper. Convince the consortia of universities that you can do it. That what you have applied for, that you can do it. Maybe that will encourage most of us, most of our youth here and online, to please think of doing this for the next October. It's coming up in October, anytime from October 5 till February, the middle of February, the next year. So please keep checking the EU website. You would see, we'll usually would publicize it. Okay? We want more students, more Nigerian students to get this award. We want many of our youth to be global individuals. Okay? And for those of you that have this intention, next year we have a date with you next year. We'll be celebrating you next year. Yeah? Did I hear people say amen? I actually heard that. Yeah. Okay. May I yield the floor at this moment to the head of EU Development Cooperation to tell us a bit about the EU and its cooperation in Nigeria, Mrs. Cecil Tessin-Pelzer.
Good morning, so distinguished guests, and dear Erasmus awardees. Let me start by congratulating the awardees for having been selected. I am myself an Erasmus alumnus. It was 1992, so 30 years ago. And I still remember, and I can directly witness how this experience has transformed my life. Living abroad for the first time, experience a foreign culture, meet new people, learn a foreign language, but of course also, very importantly, share ideas and make new friends, and there still are friends from all over the world. So I really wish you the same experience. I wish you that it will be as rich as it was for me, that it will give you a lot of chances for your future. So, as head of cooperation of the European Union in Nigeria, I have been asked to talk to you about the cooperation between the European Union and Nigeria. So maybe I will start to explain just a little bit about the European Union itself. So the European Union is a political and economic union of sovereign countries. We have seen many of their representatives today, but they have in common European institutions and also a parliament, a European Union parliament. So the European Union member states, they share common interests and common values. And the main purpose of the European Union is to uphold peace, to promote economic and social solidarity, and to bring the European people together. There is freedom to move in the European Union, so people from an EU country, they can live, they can work, and study in any other European Union country. Now, about the European Union Development Cooperation. So if you take the European Union institutions and the European Union member states together, so this is what we call Team Europe, we are together the world's leading development aid donor. Development cooperation is a shared competence of the European Union. So the European Union itself has a common development policy that is implemented by the European institutions. So here in Nigeria, the European Union delegation, while the EU member states, they still have their own bilateral cooperation as well, and we coordinate them together within Team Europe. The European Union development policy is focused on poverty eradication, human development, and sustainable growth. We work a lot with the governments, like the government of Nigeria, but we also work with civil society. The key principles of the European Development Cooperation are first, partnership, so we are partners. Second, the ownership of the beneficiary country, which means that we align our interventions on the priorities of the partner country. And third, our interventions are all based on the European Union core values, so human rights, democratic principles, and rule of law. And we also, of course, align our interventions on the United Nations Sustainable Development Agenda 2030. So the European Union cooperation in Nigeria, with Nigeria. Nigeria is really a strategic partner for the European Union, and the cooperation between the European Union and Nigeria aims to assist in the country's economic, political, and social development. The European Union cooperation in Nigeria started in 1976, but in 2008, Nigeria and the European Union decided to intensify this partnership. And in 2009, we have formalized this in the Nigeria-EU Joint Way Forward. And it was agreed to intensify the political dialogue. So this is what we do since, and we have a regular high-level political dialogue where we discuss peace and security, good governance and human rights, economic development, including trade and regional integration, energy, environmental sustainability, and climate change. The European Union in Nigeria works with multi-year programming, and currently we are implementing the 2021 to 27 program for Nigeria. And it is implemented through different projects and programs. And they are organized in three main priorities. The first one is green and digital economy. The second one is governance, peace, and migration. And the third one is human development. We also have a horizontal focus, which is youth. And as you know, Nigeria has a young population, and we want to engage with youth in a structural manner. So the European Union delegation has launched the Youth Sounding Board in Nigeria. It consists of 25 young Nigerians who advise our delegation, our EU delegation in Nigeria, to incorporate youth perspectives in our work and in our engagements with policymakers. You can follow the members of the Youth Sounding Board on the social media. They are quite active, and you can learn more about their work with the European Union delegation. Our Cooperation portfolio in Nigeria also includes the European Union support to ECOWAS, the Economic Community of West Africa States, because ECOWAS has its headquarters in Abuja. And we also have our ECO office, through which the European Union supports the humanitarian partners in providing emergency assistance. I will not be longer, don't worry, but if you would like to know more about our projects, our programs, please visit our website. The delegation has a website, and you can also follow us on our social network. So thank you very much for your attention. I wish you all the best, and I will maybe finish just with a personal tip. It is not only about studying, it's also about experiencing the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Cecile. Now we are getting to another interesting segment of this event, and that's the unveiling of the students of the 2021 awardees, 2022 awardees. So, may I call on the EU ambassador? No. And all the EU heads of mission, the NUC executive secretary, the deputy executive secretary, the director, scholarship board, the director in Ministry of Education, please, and the representative of the minister. The point is that all the students are not here today. All the students are not here. Some of them have gone to Europe. Some of them are here. And some of them are watching online. Okay? But they are here with us. You would see them here this morning. So, two. Yeah. Let's applaud these brilliant students. It's not an easy journey to get them to this point. They never knew they'll get to this point. The same way I know that those of you who are seated here today and online, it will be your turn next year and even the years to come. It's not a difficult process to be selected. There are people like you. There are people like you and I. I'm too old for that now, isn't it? Yeah. So at this stage, I will just ask that we all go around. It's time for a tour. You want to take a photo here?
Yeah, can we ask some awardees to join us for a photo? It's difficult to have a photo with 200 people, but maybe few of them, at least those that came on stage and a few others maybe. Thank you.
Yeah, in that case, they have to climb. You should go on stage. They have to climb on stage to get everyone. Okay. So we'll all have to go on stage. All the awardees that are here present, please will go on stage with these VVIPs, with the EU heads of mission in Nigeria, NUC representative, the Nigerian representative of the Minister of Youth and Sports, representative of the Minister of Education, I wish we can carry this up. Thank you very much. We still have another round of photographs outside, please. But now is the time for the tour of the Study in Europe Fair. This will be led by the EU head of delegation, Ambassador Samuela Isopi. Would like to take a family photo outside, please. Immediately after the study, please leave them. Immediately after the study fair. Of course, this. I'll talk to you. Please, everyone should be part of this tour. Can we all follow after the EU ambassador and the VIPs to the study fair downstairs? Everybody should be part of it, please.
Today, more and more European organizations in the field of vocational education and training cooperate with partners worldwide. Want to join them? Whether you want to create a network, develop new training opportunities, or share your expertise, our Erasmus Plus program now supports your cooperation projects beyond Europe. Go to our Erasmus Plus website and apply for your new capacity building grant. 21st Century Vocational Education and Training starts here. Youth organizations help young people to make their voices heard, develop new skills, or make a difference in their community. Today, our Erasmus Plus program funds youth organizations in the Western Balkans and the Southern Mediterranean to cooperate with European partners. Together, they become more engaged and connected than ever. Want to be a part of it? Go to our Erasmus Plus website and apply for your capacity building grant. Youth empowerment starts here. In an ever-changing world, universities are constantly innovating. Globalization leads them to internationalize their faculty and student body. The transition towards greener and more digital economies is driving the evolution of their curricula. Today, the Erasmus Plus program provides funding all around the world to higher education institutions eager to scale up their transformation. Why not join them? Go to our Erasmus Plus website and apply for your capacity building grant. 21st Century Higher Education starts here. Today, European universities are developing more and more joint master degree programs with higher education institutions worldwide. Want your institution to participate in joint masters with European universities and attract top-tier international students and scholars? Whether you're developing your idea or looking for funds to make it happen, we have several partnership options for you. Go to our Erasmus Plus website and apply for your Erasmus Mundus grant. Your next joint masters starts here. A master's degree can turbocharge your career. A master's degree in Europe can change your life. So imagine graduating from 2 or more European universities at once. There are hundreds of joint master degree programs that will boost your expertise in many areas: climate change, digitalization, engineering, or the arts. Need funding? Our Erasmus Mundus program grants full scholarships. Check out our available master programs on our online catalogue. Your life-changing experience starts here. Want to go to Europe for a short teaching assignment? Looking for a professional training in a European university or company? Need funding to support your travel and living costs? Well, remember these 3 words: international credit mobility. Each year, worldwide, thousands of professors and higher education professionals go to Europe to accelerate their professional development. Why not join them? Contact your university's International Relations Office. New horizons start here. Want to go to Europe to study or gain work experience? Want to acquire new skills and discover a different culture? Need funding to support your travel and living costs? Well, remember these 3 words: international credit mobility. Each year, worldwide, thousands of bachelor, master and PhD students go to Europe as part of their university degree for short study periods or traineeships. Why not join them? Contact your university's International Relations Office. New horizons start here. Are you teaching or doing research on the European Union, its history, integration process, or global role? Are you looking for funding to launch a new research project or university chair? Whether you're teaching, fostering dialogue between academics and policymakers, or creating dedicated research networks, our Erasmus Plus program has several funding options for you. Go to our Erasmus Plus website and apply for your Jean Monnet grant. Your EU research starts here.
I think it's one of the most important programs because it shows to everybody what the integration is all about.
Erasmus is this year celebrating 30 years of bringing people and cultures together. The programme started out in 1987 when just over 3,000 students from 11 EU countries took part in the first exchanges. It has since grown to encompass vocational education and training, school education, adult education, youth and sport, giving 9 million people the chance to have a formative experience in 33 countries and beyond. Erasmus Plus has also been instrumental in paving the way for reform in education, training and youth systems.
Soprattutto ricordo che è stato per me la prima vera esperienza di autonomia.
Erasmus Plus has been proven to have a hugely positive impact on participants. In higher education, it doubles the chance of participants being employed just a year after graduating. Whilst of those who undertake a traineeship abroad, 1 in 3 is offered a job by their host company. Vocational education and training participants find their first job faster and earn 25% more than they would do otherwise. Voluntary experience abroad is considered a plus by 3/4 of employers. But Erasmus Plus mobility does not only help with job prospects. It encourages social mobility, with 35,000 students in higher education from disadvantaged backgrounds having been supported in just 2 years, and 100,000 refugees to benefit from Erasmus Plus online linguistic support. Whilst 1 in 3 participants in youth exchanges also come from a disadvantaged background. Last but not least, Erasmus Plus brings people together across the EU and beyond.
I always say that you can digitalize everything, but you cannot digitalize the experience that you're having here. and you learn much more than you can learn in a course or studying or reading.
Erasmus Plus is universally renowned as the most powerful EU tool, yet only 1 in 20 young Europeans actually benefit from it. High-level politicians across Europe are calling for a tenfold increase in Erasmus Plus funding. So, how are we preparing for 1 in every 3 young Europeans going abroad with Erasmus Plus? For starters, we are making the programme even more accessible with the Erasmus Plus mobile app, with step-by-step guidance, sharing of handy tips, and language learning, all at your fingertips. To best prepare the future Erasmus Plus programme in collaboration with young people, over 230 events in 37 countries have been planned, with discussions continuing on the Erasmus Plus Generation online meeting point. To make sure that as many people contribute as possible to building the future programme, we have reached out to 25 million people through social media, whilst over 27,000 articles have been published. Erasmus Plus has been enriching lives and opening minds for 30 years. Let's now build together the future of Erasmus Plus.